Hey everyone, it's Jerry McNulty, the Whistling Whittler. Today I've got a really cool project for you. A few years ago, last year, I had the opportunity to go and carve with Joe Yu up in the Rocky Mountain Carvers Roundup, and Joe did a really cool project that was a little miniature Santa Claus. It was probably only about 3 inches tall, and it was mostly proportioned as a head, with just a little bit of body underneath that. And I've got a similar project from that today. This one's a little bit bigger. This is a little Santa Claus, sleepy nighty Claus I'm calling him, or Nighty Nick. Nighty Nick I'm calling him. And he's really kind of cool. He's got a little bit of a foot sandal showing, a couple little arms and stuff, and a nighty. So this should be a fun project. This guy will be up on eBay once again. I will list it today, and he'll be up for about 7 days. So grab your tools, guys. This one's going to be a fun one. Remember to like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to tell everybody that. I really need that on there. So guys, please like and subscribe to the video so you'll see my content. Other than that, guys, let's get carving on Nighty Nick. Okay, here we go. This is our little Santa. And Santa has a pretty good noggin on him. He's got a beard, and his cheeks are inset, so the beard comes out a little bit further than the cheeks. He's got a little bit of a brow ridge here, and then he's got this tuft hat, stocking hat that comes down straight in the back with a little ball. Tuft of the hat comes around. He's got a collar here on both sides. He's got a ruffle on the bottom with ruffles, or a cuff on the sleeves, and the pockets are just, the hands are going into a pocket there. And he's got this little sandal with these little toes hanging out, and just a little bit of an impression of a sandal on the bottom. So this should be pretty fun. Good sized mustache here that goes from out the sides of his face. So let's get this guy. And the tools I have today, this is one of the new Flex Cut Pro Series knives, which has got the flat grind, and it's got a big monster handle. I've heard mixed reviews. Some people like it, some people hate it, but I've done pretty well with this one, so I'm going to keep that one around. And then I'm also going to use this Soft V. This is Denny Soft V, or OCCT, or whoever. I know they recently changed owners, but I don't remember the name of it right now. But this is 1/4 inch Soft V. And these are the tools I'm going to use. My block is 1.5 inches by 4.5 inches tall, and 4.5 inches is about what we've used lately for the busts. So this is a little figure out of a 4.5 inch. So let's get rolling here. To start this guy off, let's see our face with the beard. This one's about 3 inches. So the normal bust we were doing were about 2.5. So this gives it just a little bit more because of the beard. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my block. And that doesn't leave much there. I don't think it's, let's go 2 3/4. 2 3/4. That's about ready right here. 2 3/4. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of draw a line across this whole thing, and rotate it on this side and continue that line. Now to get this kicked off, this hat band is really high up on the head, on the hat. So I'm going to start just by rounding the top of this off. And you can use push cut, pull cut, whatever you want, just to kind of go around this a little bit, and round this and narrow the top here, so that you're not having to cut so much end grain off the top. You can get it from the side. But we're just rounding that top off. And I'm coming down the side a little bit so that it's chamfering as it's rolling over. I'm just rotating it, going around the whole thing, so I've got all 4 sides covered, and I'm attacking this from the side, just going around and around and narrowing that as I go around until I just have a little bit left, and then I'll come back and go across the top. Okay. Okay, from there, let's cut this a little bit at that 2 3/4 line. I'm not going to spend too much time right here for now, but okay, but let's get this nose. So the nose, we're going to put the nose, let's do 1.5 inches on the nose. So from this top part, nose will go about right here. So in the last couple projects we've done, well, I've just done a stop cut right there. I'm going to do a stop cut, but I'm going to angle it down towards me a little bit, coming down this way, and then removing that. So I've actually got a small triangle there rather than just going straight down. And then I'm going to, from the tip of that nose, come straight up, kind of rolling it in on both sides. So I'm going to deepen this a little bit, and then from here, I'm going to angle this up on both sides. Just like that. Now this right here, I want more of a swoop on here, and I try to go down and then swoop it up so that he kind of has a ball type nose on the end there. I mean, this is, you know, just a quick whittle type of thing, so I'm not really shaping the nose out too much, but I do got a really good upturn there, just a little bit. So we'll leave that there. Okay. So from here, I'm going to establish the hat here. So this hat, let's just pick this line right here. The hat's going to come down right here on both sides. It's going to come around the back. And then from here, and this is the bottom edge of the hat, so we still got to draw the top one. And to do that, I need to angle this just a little bit more so it's a flat area that I'm putting that whole band on. And then I've got the hat that comes down, the little cap. And let me take this corner off. Let's draw a ball right here. Okay, so up here, well, this is going to die in right there. It's going to die in right there. So up here, I'm going to do the top portion of the knitted hat, and that's too small on this up here, a little bit bigger. Just like that. Okay, because now I'm going to cut this line here so it gives me the end of my face, and I'm going to use this soft V here to do that. And I might as well just keep it right on to here. Let's go ahead and do the rest of these lines right now too. And I'm angling this away this way, so I'm not cutting shallow. I'm not cutting this any tighter. I'm angling it away so I get the full line there. And I'm going to go ahead and do the ball as well. The ball is looking square right now, but it's not going to by the time we're done. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and take this corner off right now so that's easier to hold. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Just remove that corner there. Okay, a little bit more there. So we'll finish up with this line here. Get the rest of that hat cut in. I apologize if I go off the screen. It's different learning to carve 2 feet away from you. Okay, so this will gonna take this forehead back a little bit more underneath the hat of what will be the hat. Just work that head in just a little bit under that hat. I just chipped a little bit of that off of it. It's no big deal because we'll just cut it deeper. Okay, so I've got a kind of a mess here. I'm going to clean that up. Okay. So from here, I'm going to establish my eye line. I'm just going to push this knife here, give it a little V cut up there, and extend the eye line to the side. Here we go. Okay, let's take this down here. Okay, from here, I'm going to find my center line. I'm going to put 2 dots on each side of the nose, and so these will be the width of my nose right here. Then down here, I'm gonna find where my nostril flares are gonna be. This one's gonna be about there. This one's gonna be about right here. Bring this a little lower. This nose will come up here, like this on both sides. Okay, let me go to my tool selection. What tools do I have here? Oh, it's a soft V. So I'm going to start right here at this nasal flare. I'm going to push up, hit that dot, and then turn it this way and come across and deepen that eye mound. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm pushing right here, up the side of that nose, turning, coming around the eye mound, just like that. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Push that to that dot, but then this way I got a grains going this way, so I got to come from this direction. That gave me my nose. So this nostril's a little bit deeper than this one, so I'm going to come back here and just deepen that a tad bit more, and then come up a little bit on these eye mounds so that the eye is not that low on the face. Okay. So from here, I need to take this line right here, and I'm just going to take my knife. I'm going to cut where that nostril flare goes and stop cut just a little bit deeper than that. Remove this here so I can take this triangle out right under the nose, and then clean up just under the nostril. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Pop that triangle out, and clean up the bottom of the nose. Okay, now I'm going to remove a little bit of nostril here so that it looks like it's going underneath the cheek. Same thing on this side. Okay, now I'm going to draw these, cheeks on here. So for this guy, it's going to come down a little bit past this nose, lower than the nose. It's going to round and come back up. It's not flat back up, but comes in a little bit. And then down like here. And back up. Now, if this was a wood spirit or something like that, or a wizard, I might come down here and do a point on this cheek, but because this is more Santa-ish, I'm not going to do that. These are going to be rounded. So let me look at what tool I'm going to use to cut that based on my selection here. I think I have a soft V to do this. So I'm going to grab my soft V. I'm going to push this into this cut and roll this all the way around up to the hat. And be careful when you get up there. I almost came in with too much force and blew through that hat band. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. There you go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a stop cut right here. And I'm going to narrow the face at that eye line. So I'm going to just take a corner off right here and use this hat line to do a stop cut. So I've removed this area here. It popped that cheek out a lot more and narrowed my face. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do a stop cut there and come in here. This is harder because it's a pull cut and you have a little bit less control when it comes out. So be very careful when you get there, but okay. So I'm going to clean up this hat line just a little bit, and I just took that chunk off. So we're going to have to go a little bit deeper and change this just a tad bit. Okay, which is okay. Things happen along the way. Stop cut here. I'm going to remove and push this beard a little bit lower back underneath that hat. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and continue cleaning up the line here. And that'll work. Okay, so we'll taper this a little bit so it's not such a hard edge. I'll have to come back down here a little lower because my shadow line's not what it was when I started. So it's okay though, it still looks great. Okay, let's work on this beard just a tad bit. Just keep taking this off, and I'm narrowing the gap between here and here so that I'm not pushing all my weight and muscle into the big chunk of wood there. And I'm going to turn it around and angle it where I got the best angle on it that I can get. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side. As I'm going, I'm kind of narrowing this chest a little bit, rounding it out so it's not going to be so triangle-like shape. Okay, so now I'm going to stop cut lower than this cheek here, and I'm going to round out this cheek a little bit. So I am taking a little bit off the corner here so that it rolls back a little bit underneath there. Round this off just a tad bit. I'm not rounding too much here because I want this side to actually be under the cheek, and this cheek under here is under the hairline. So I'm not doing all that. I'm just going to take a little bit off there. So same thing on this side. So I can even remove a little bit here and deepen underneath that cheek, giving it a little bit of shadow line. I kind of like the way those look. And then soften the edge right here so it's not a hard line. So same thing here. I'm going to go down in here, cut out a little deeper, remove the material. Got to take more out so that it matches the other side. Easing up when I get to that nose so that I don't pull the whole thing off. Okay, so from here he's going to get a mustache, so I want to give him a good surface for that mustache to come around. Here we go. Okay, so continue the beard and the hairline across the back. I'm coming up a little bit taller than I was in the front with the beard. His hair is not going to be as long as the beard, so there we go. He's looking good. Okay, I'm just going to take this a little bit and soften that corner there. Not going to matter too much here in a minute, but there we go. So before we do the mustache here, I'm going to give him some eyes. Bring him to life. Okay. So from here, let's do a flat line here, rounded, coming down just a little bit lower than where I started on this point. And do the same thing on this side. So, okay, I'm going to do a stop cut, deep stop cut right there, down that flat line down the side of the nose. I'm going to meet it right here and just score this line right here around just like that. I'm going to remove the material from here at an angle, so it's creating a triangle cut here in the corner. So this is about as deep as I can go here on the face. I mean on the corner of the eye, or that I want to go. And then move that there, and there's the eye socket ready to go. A little bit of cleanup, so there's light little chips there, but so same thing here, pushing deeper in here, doing a stop cut straight down the side of the nose, coming around the side, just scoring this line here, creating a stop cut. Come here, I'm going to remove this chip nice at an angle while I remove that chip, and then it will take out a triangle there from that corner. And then I'm going to come back on this side, remove the material for the rest of that stop cut. Clean up the little messes. Okay, there we go. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do little triangles at the tips of those eyes just to give it a little character. And there we go. Just a tad bit more. Okay, so now I'm going to do the eye lid. And I'm drawing them on here. I'm using the natural line that was created when I removed the material. And this is really a thin piece of skin, so it doesn't take much. Just scrolling that stop cut on both sides. I'm going to remove just a small amounts of material. Hold on. I'm going to put glasses on so I can see what I'm doing here. Just a light little piece there. And do the same thing on this other side. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little line at the bottom here. And I'm making sure those are even across there before I cut them. I'm just going to do a stop cut on the bottom. Come here, remove a little triangle out of each corner of the eye. So there's that one. I'm going to just clean this up just a tad bit here. Sometimes the best cleanup is just to go back, do a cleaner stop cut, remove a little bit more material. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Stop cut that, remove a little bit of material here. Same thing from this side. And there we go. Okay, let's, is there a chip there? Nope. Bring him to life with some eyeballs. There you go. Okay, he's going to get a little bit of bags here, so I'm going to grab that. Well, it's a soft V. Let's do a little bit of a bag underneath here. Do a little bit of a bag underneath here. Was that when I reach the nose, I curl up towards the nose. Okay, so he's got some eye bags on either side. Now let's give him a mustache. So just make a little center line here so I see where I'm at. This mustache is going to come up, just roll up there. It's a little bit deeper there, so I'm going to add a little bit to this one. Okay, to cut that, well, I think I'll use a soft V. So I'm going to start with separating the two. Now the trick here with this mustache is I'm getting my depth with the soft V, but I will come back and use my knife as well, and that'll give it the definition and make it sharp. Okay, so I'm going to do a stop cut with the knife. And remove the material. So that's really deep underneath there. That's I don't know if you can really see it with the camera, but it goes pretty deep. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I don't hit it as hard when I get to the end here because that's a smaller piece and I don't want it to break. So I will hit it, but it'll be a little bit more delicate. Okay, and so then I'm going to do a little V cut here, do a stop cut on each side, remove the material right here. So it's got a little bit of a mouth. I might cut into this right now anyway and separate those really good on each side. Cleaning up the nose still as I go around. I like that nose. Okay, so I'm going to run my knife just on the outside here, remove the bandsaw marks. I'm going to give him a bottom lip. And all I'm going to do is come about right here and swoop back like this. Round that a little bit. So he's got that ooh, ooh, ooh look. There you go. Okay, so let's work on this just a tad bit. Kind of looks blocky and square, so we're going to fix that here. I'm going to use my soft V here, and I'm going to just run some, well, let's start on the mustache. Let's do some little texture here, and I'm just running this up and down across there. I'm not really doing it in any straight line or pattern. I'm just rolling with the flow of how the mustache would go. I'm going to do that on the beard as well. And then when I reach the end of the profile here, I'm going to push my knife in doing stop cuts and remove the chip. So I'm removing and changing the plane of it as it goes across. But then I'm going to come around this side. Where I cut that, I'm going to cut the swirl a little bit more shallow, so it changes the hairline this way and this way. That'll just help me get a little bit more life into the beard. So same thing here. When it leaves us here on the beard, I'm cutting in there, changing the look of it when it comes out around that hat a little bit more. So look at this side compared to this side. Change that up quite a bit. Now here I'm going to separate this hair from this hair about right here with that soft V. I'm just going to push this guy back here like this on both sides. That's it. So this is just texture. Same thing that we did up there. I'm putting my knife here at an angle and it's breaking up that profile of the way that this comes down. I'm going to come from a different direction this time, undercut it, change the angle of it just a tad bit, and there we go. So texture this, when it comes underneath this hat here, I'm going to do a deeper stop cut. Remove a little bit of material so that this looks like it's coming up underneath that hat. I'll stop cut the side of my hat here. I'm going to take a little bit deeper of material right here as it goes behind here so it gives it a little bit more definition around the ball by taking the corners off. Still need to stop cut this side. Stop cut this right here. Okay, so that ball's kind of round. I've got the hat band coming back there. I want to round the sides of it over just a little bit and make that hair go up underneath it. I'm going to do a stop cut up the sides of the hat, remove the material, finish this hat band so that it looks like it's going underneath that piece. I'll do that, take some triangles out at the corners. Same thing on this side. Okay, and I'm also going to change the profile of this so it's just not some two straight lines on either side, and I'm just going to kind of swoop around a little bit with my knife to kind of break that up. You gotta be careful because it'll give you more to clean up here. Then on here, I'm gonna use my knife to kind of just texture it just a little bit, give it some natural fabric, like it was not, a straight flat piece of fabric on a table or something. This is something on a head that's worn that's gonna have a little bit of, movement to it. Okay, so I'm gonna continue on this side with the texture. It doesn't take much here to do little patterns here. Come back down the sides with the beard. Okay, so I'm going to break up the profile of the beard as it comes through. Break up the profile of the mustache. So right here I've got a mustache that's recessed from the beard, so I do need to take a little bit of this off so that my beard comes down a little lower, and this is a little bit much for me, so I'm gonna take that guy down a little bit more too. Okay. Make sure that beard is hanging in the wind. You got all the material out underneath the bottom of it. I'm going to take a lot of material off this right here. Okay, before we move on a little bit with the face, a couple little things I want to do. I want to do a little bit deeper on this right here, that eye bag, but I can drop a couple eyebrow hairs up here. There are all eyebrow hairs right here. I can texture on this texture on the hat here, and I can use that same soft V and just go across here, and I'm going pretty much in the same direction here. And I'm not going to spend the time to do the whole hat on the video. I'm just going to probably do a little bit on the front here and show you. Okay, so I've got a little bit of texture on that hat there. Okay, now as I come down here a little bit, still I want to shape out this beard just a tad bit more. And I'm going to do that off camera, so it's not such a big thing to kind of break up this profile here. But let's talk about this right here. So I'm going to throw, first thing is a little bit of a neck in here. I wonder what tool I'm going to use for that. How about this soft V? So I'm just going to take this and just round it right there, and then come back the other direction. Come like that. So I've just got a little bit of a neck. I can come with my knife and deepen the corners out a little bit, take a corner off of each side, so it'll make that neck look like it's back up in there. Okay. Then I'm going to come just a little bit down here. I'm going to use my finger as a gauge. Just come just a little bit down on this side. Do the same thing right here, and right here. And then I'm going to come in almost at a 90-degree angle, but I'm going to change it just a little bit. So I'm about halfway across the distance of here, and then back out. And then this will line back up with this run right there. I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm coming almost 90 degree, but I'm just going to cheat it out just a little bit. About halfway between there, I'm looking here to try to get them a little bit closer. This one's not where I should be, right there. Up. up a little bit. There, they don't have to be perfect, but they'll work. Yeah, they're not off a little bit, but it'll work. It'll work. It'll give us what we want. Okay, from here I'm going to cut this line right here, stop cut this. I'm pointing my knife away from the sleeve here. Just pushing it down in here like this. Doing the same thing here, pushing away from the sleeve. Moving that little triangle right there. I take this angle right here, I'm going to push my knife in, rock it so it gets some depth on it, move the material up against it. I'm taking this so it's flush, it's flat, so it doesn't flare out. It looks like that. Make a little bit more up here, deepen that, go all the way to the end of this. I'm going to stop cut this line here, remove the material so that this sleeve goes underneath that pocket. There we go. Do the same thing on this side. So push in here, here, remove the material. If it doesn't come, do another clean cut and then it should pop. Rock my knife here. Okay. Take a little bit more off here so it's not so bulky. Okay. Same thing in the back. This is going to end up being a little bit rounded, so I don't need this clump here. Okay. So I didn't get the okay, so let's go ahead and put the collar on him. This collar starts on the side of the neck, and we'll come around just like this. And let's see, we'll use our soft V to cut that out. So just okay. Take it down, soften it a little bit with the knife. I hit this shoulder a little bit. Bring it down just a tad bit, make it a little bit more natural. Get rid of the hard edge. Kind of look at them. Okay, and then I got this back sleeve to do. I'm hitting this at an angle away from the arm here. And removing that chip. Same thing here. Moving that chip. Taking away the material that's up higher than the collar. There we go. Make sure I got all the bandsaw marks off. Okay, now I'm going to soften this edge here. Soften this edge here. Do that on both sides. Okay. Now we're going to add the, it's going to come up. That'll be our shoe right there. Let's come back down here, come across here. Got a little cuff here on the sleeves. So I'm going to grab that soft V. I'm going to take this right here. This cuff's going to look like it's rolled under, so I don't want to leave that a hard line. Okay. Now this right here, I'm going to stop cut. Remove the material up against it. I'm going to draw a line of the shoe. Lightly stop cut that. Take a little bit of material out. And then I'm going to take a little bit at the corner and make a big toe. Just a little V cut in there. Okay, so I've got and then I want a little bit of material from this side of the big toe. Okay, from there I'm going to split this section in half. And split those two sections in half, and then just do two stop cuts or V cut. And then remove a little bit up from the top of each toe, so it looks like they're rounded over. And this is real delicate small work, so you got to be very careful here and think about the cut you're going to do before you make it. Just don't go in here and just start hacking away with your knife. I'm going to do a little stop cut and V at the bottom of each toe too, so it looks like it's rounded on the bottom. So I'm going to stop here. This is something you can play around with a little bit later, but I'm going to round the top of the, or around the bottom of the little flare thing here, so it's natural. Okay, so now I can put a couple little creases here just for some interest out the corners of the wrinkles at the bends of the arm, which would be natural areas that you'd have a crease. I'm going to add a couple little lines here on the side of the face. And do that on both sides. And give them some nostril holes. And I'm just scooping those out with my knife real quick. I suppose I could figure out a way to use my soft V to do it, but I am, after all, a whittler. There you go. Okay, so only thing left now is just to add some texture to this shirt here, or to the gown. I could come back here and do a stop cut around the ploofy thing and make that sharp looking. But I will come with my V-tool and texture out the poof, whatever we're calling it. So this will get some texture all the way here around this. Similar to what we did on the hat band. Texture this out down here. Texture the little collar things or the sleeve cuffs. Texture the poof down here. And here I'm just going to do a little bit here to show you, but you get the idea. And from there, that's where he's at. Little Santa Claus. And then I can go ahead and do my paint. But I hope you liked this video today. This is a little bit different style. I can come back here and still do nostril flares, shape the nose out a little bit more, break up the profile a little bit more here in the beard, both with my soft V and with my knife. There's lots of little things you could do to give him a little bit more detail, but overall, that's a fun little carving. I hope you had fun with him. You know, I've used these as ornaments and giveaways and all kinds of stuff. It's a cool and easy little Santa. So it's Nighty Nick. So if you like this, go ahead and like and subscribe to us. If not, well, just please do it anyway, even if you didn't like us. But we'll catch you next time. This is the Whistling Whittler, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.